which is worse than anything a winter or poverty can do. It is more like a winter of the mind, a dreadful feeling of the world's indifference. My courage will all run out.
Since the beginning, man has looked into the awesome reaches of infinity and asked the eternal question,
perhaps.
What is time? What is space? What is life? What is death?
However, let me see what you have.
Through 100 civilizations, philosophers and scientists have come with answers.
Some things I did up at Cape
But the
Cod.
bewilderment remains.
For
For each human soul must find the secret in its own fate.
Land's End.
The tender and haunting legend of the portrait of Jenny is based on the two ingredients
Just some sketches of the city.
truth
That's the
and
bridge.
hope.
Yes. It's a good
There
bridge,
is
but
such a
I just
portrait
don't
that hung in the
happen to like
Metropolitan
bridges. They come
Museum
every
in New
day,
York.
but it doesn't.
And there was such a girl named Jenny who sat for it.
This is my partner, Miss
So
Spinny.
much is truth.
I don't believe I caught
For
your
the rest,
name.
science tells us that nothing ever dies, but only
My name is
changes.
Evan Adams.
That time
What are you so
itself is not
defensive about?
life, but curves
I'm Evan
around.
Adams. I should be better if you
And that
weren't.
the past and
Might
the
eat
future
more.
are together at our side.
Don't be in such a hurry. Let's see what you've got here.
There's nothing there.
Out of the shadows of knowledge, and out of a
Probably
painting
right.
that hung on a
I'd
museum
like to see
wall
what interests
comes
you.
our story. The truth of
Sit
which
down,
lies not on our screen,
You may not sell
but in
anything,
your
but at least
heart.
you'll rest.
I'd advise you to sit.
You painted nice flowers.
Thank you.
You ever
And
read
now-
Robert Browning?
Long time ago.
Jenny.
Remember his poem about Andrea del Sarto?
New
Perfect
York
painter,
is a cold place in the winter.
proportion, anatomy,
It was no warmer
color.
in the winter of 34.
He had everything
Yet
and
there is a
nothing.
type of
He
suffering to
painted
the
a perfect
artist,
hand,
which is worse
on
than anything a
Raphael,
winter or
to a
poverty can do.
formless claw.
It is more like
Raphael loved
a
his
winter
work.
of the mind,
Poor
dreadful
Andrea del
feeling
Sarto.
of the world's indifference. I get your point.
There isn't
My
a drop
courage
of
will all
love
run
in
out.
any of these.
Really, Miss Spinny here.
Don't be soft, Matthews. I'm an old maid, and nobody knows more about love than an old maid. What's the matter with you, Adams? You have to learn to care deeply for something.
Yes, sir. What could
Now
I
take
do
the
for
flower.
Well, you can buy
I
one of
never
my
witnessed
pictures,
for
perhaps.
flowers.
Yes, of
doesn't
course,
do
we
them
buy
too
very, very
badly.
little, almost nothing.
Be
Times being
$12
what
and
they
a
are.
half for it. Is that the argument? There's no
However,
sale.
let me see what
No
you have.
argument.
You pay it, Mr. Matthews.
Have your change of $1.
I haven't got a dime.
Your lowest, 50 cents.
Landscapes.
Mostly. You want more flowers? I've got a carload of them at home. These are some
How'd you
things I
pay
did up
that?
at Cape Cod.
Today.
That's the fisheries at North Truro. Thank you very much. Good day, Miss Land's End. I don't think you really
Landscapes.
wanted the picture.
If I
Just some
hadn't wanted
sketches
it, I
of the
would
city.
have taken it.
That's the bridge. Beautiful.
Yes. Yeah, it's a good bridge, but I just don't happen to like bridges. They come every day for the dozen.
That picture isn't worth more than a couple of dollars.
You startled me.
No, but
This
Adams
is my
is.
partner, Miss Spinny.
Yes, sir. We're supposed to be in
I
the
don't
business
believe
for
I caught
profit,
your
you see.
name.
I didn't say it.
I thought.
My
I
name is
bought
Evan
this for
Adams.
myself.
Oh,
What are you so defensive about?
It's wonderful what a
I'm
little
Evan
compliment
Adams.
can
I
do.
should be better if you weren't. Might eat my first in 20 years. Don't be in such a hurry. Let's see what you've got here.
There's nothing there to At last, I had a little money in my
You're
pocket.
probably right.
But I think
I'd
I
like
was
to
a
see
little
what interests
lightheaded
you.
for not having had enough to eat.
Sit down, Adams.
Suddenly, I had the awareness
You may not
of
sell
something
anything, but at least
extraordinary.
you'll rest.
The city sounds were muted and far away. They seemed to come from another time, like the sound of
Painted
summer
nice
in a meadow
flowers.
long ago.
You ever read Robert Browning?
Long time ago.
Remember his poem about Andrea del Sarto? Perfect painter. Proportion, anatomy, color. He had everything and nothing.
Isn't anybody here with
He
you?
painted a perfect hand on Raphael.
Getting
to a
pretty dark.
formless
Oughtn't you go
claw.
home?
But
I
Raphael
don't
loved
have to
his
go home
work.
yet. Nobody's ready for me.
Poor Andrea del Sarto.
Anyway,
I
you're
think I
with
get
me.
your point.
There isn't a drop of love in any of these.
I'm Jenny.
Really, Miss Spinny here.
Don't be soft, Matthew.
Jenny Appleton.
I'm an old maid,
Father,
and
mother,
nobody knows
actress, and
more
actress.
about love than an
They're
old
working
maid.
down at Hammerstein Victoria.
What's the matter
They do
with you,
juggling on a
Adams?
rope.
Did you
You
say
have to learn to
Hammerstein?
care deeply
why?
for something.
Because it was torn
Now
down
take
years
the
ago
flower.
when I was a boy. Huh?
You must be thinking of some other place, because I was there
It doesn't
yesterday.
do them too badly.
Oh, now, really?
Now, let me
Give
see
you
your
$12
pictures.
and a half for it. There's the
Adams.
argument, there's no sale.
How do you know they are pictures?
Oh, I just know.
Have your change of $1.
I haven't got a dime.
Those are awful little windows for such a big church.
They have to be. There's
want
so
more
much
flowers,
wind
I've
in
got a
Cape
car
Cod.
loaded at home.
I was
I
afraid
don't
of
like
that.
it. It scares me.
Good day.
The wind?
No, the black water.
Thank you very much.
There should be a lighthouse
Good
up
day,
there in
Miss
the
Benny.
ocean.
Yes, they should
really
really
wanted
want
the
it.
picture.
If I hadn't
don't
wanted it,
exactly
I wouldn't have
remember.
taken it.
Someday I'll
You have
show it to
beautiful
you.
eyes.
Out there on the rocks. The Land's End Light.
But you said you didn't remember.
Dear, I'm afraid
I
that
don't, I
picture
just
isn't
know.
worth more than a couple of dollars.
No, but Adams is.
I wish I liked
Yes,
your
but
pictures.
we're
but I
supposed to
don't.
be in the business for profit, Miss Minnie.
That's what everybody says. That's why I can't sell them.
I bought this for
Maybe you
myself.
shouldn't paint places.
Oh,
Why don't you paint
it's
people
wonderful
instead?
what a little compliment
Cecily Brown's
can
home
do.
is full of pictures of people.
My
Who's Cecily
first in
Brown?
20 years.
She's my best friend. I go to school every day now, but only in the mornings.
What do you learn? At last, I had a little money.
Well,
in my
yesterday we
pocket.
learned about the Kaiser.
But I
He's
think I
the
was a
king of
little
Germany.
lightheaded for not having had enough to eat.
You're wrong.
Suddenly,
Cecily
I
Brown's
had the
father's in
awareness
Germany
of
now, and he sees
something
him all the time.
extraordinary.
He says
The
the
city
Kaiser rides around on a
sounds were
white
muted
horse,
and far
and he
away.
likes to fight.
They
I can
seem to
fight
come
too.
from
I
another
can fight
time.
Cecily. She's bigger,
Like
but
the
I'm
sound
stronger.
of summer
I
in
can
a
fight
meadow
good.
long ago. I thought you said Cecily Brown was your best friend.
She is. It's fun to have somebody to play with. Don't you have anybody to play with?
Well, I'm afraid I have to go.
Isn't anybody here with you?
Well, it's a little lonesome here all by myself. So I'll walk away.
Getting pretty dark. Why don't you go home?
I know a song. Would you like to hear
ready
it?
for me.
I'd love to.
Anyway, you're with me.
I'm Jenny.
Jenny? Jenny what?
Jenny Appleton. Father and mother are actors and actresses. They're working down at Hammerstein Tutorial. They do juggling on a rope.
Did you say Hammerstein's?
Why?
Because it was torn down years ago when I was a boy.
You must be thinking of some other place, because I was there yesterday.
Well, now, really?
Now, let me see your pictures, Mr.
Adams. How do you know they are pictures?
Oh, I just know. Those are awful little windows for such a big church.
They have to be little. There's so much wind in Cape Cod.
I don't like it. It scares me.
The wind? Oh, they are pictures.
No, the black water. There should be a lighthouse up there in the ocean.
Yes, they should be. How did you know?
I don't exactly remember. Someday I'll show it to you. Out there on the rocks. The Land's End Light.
But you said you didn't remember.
I don't. I just know. There should be a lighthouse up there in the ocean.
Who taught you that?
Nobody. It's just your pictures, but I don't. Do you know the game I like
That's
to play?
what everybody says. That's why I can't sell
It's a
them.
wishing game. I'll tell you what I wish. Maybe you shouldn't paint places.
What do you wish?
Why don't you paint first you have to close your eyes and turn
Cecily
around
Brown's
3
home is full of
times. Pictures of people.
Who's Cecily Brown?
She's my best friend. I go to school every day now, but only in the mornings.
What do you learn?
Well, yesterday we learned about the Kaiser. He's the king of Germany.
He was a long time ago.
Well, I can't talk to you anymore. Cecily Brown's father's in Germany now, and he sees him all the time.
So he was.
He says the Kaiser rides around on a white horse, and he likes to fight. I can fight too. I can fight Cecily. She's bigger, but I'm stronger. I can fight it good.
I thought you said Cecily Brown was your best friend.
She is.
I'll get your parcel.
It's fun to have somebody to play with. Don't you have anybody to play with?
Funny kind of a kid.
Well, I'm afraid I
Jenny!
have to go now.
Well, it's a little lonesome here all by myself. So I'll walk a ways with you if you don't mind. I know a song. Would you like to hear it?
I'd love to.
Is that you, Mr. Adams?
Yes, Mrs. Cheeks.
You always come in so extremely quiet, I can hardly hear you, Mr. Adams. So thoughtful of my other tenants.
I didn't want to disturb anybody.
Of course not, a fine gentleman like you.
Would $5 do for a while?
It won't do, but I'll take
Hope
it.
I'll have some more for you soon.
You'd better see that you do.
I don't suppose you'd be interested in another one of my sketches until I...
Oh, no, my bathroom's full of them now. Where would I put another one? In my parlor?
No, I wouldn't expect anything like that.
You certainly have a way, Mrs. Cheeks. Play with him like a cat and a mouse, and then you pounce. But he is attractive, isn't he? And a gentleman besides.
That's what makes it so hard to throw him out.
Oh, but he's an ornament to your house, Mrs. Cheeks.
Just can't understand a man fiddling away his time just eating things.
Of course, he did shovel some snow to pay part of last month's rent. Painting things. Women in the... Mrs. Bunce, we agreed that he was a gentleman. A gentleman just don't paint women in the...
Nobody, it's just a song.
Of course not.
Do you know the game I like to play best?
What?
It's a wishing game. I'll tell you what I wish most.
What do you wish?
Well, first you have to close your eyes and turn around 3 times. I wish that you would wait for me to grow up so that we could always be together. But you won't, I guess. Well, I can't talk to you anymore. Goodbye.
Somehow the tune the little girl sang stayed in my mind.
I'll get your
I
parcel.
thought of the last thing she'd said to me about waiting for her to grow up. But people can't wait for other people to grow up. There was something different about that.
Jenny!
I wondered if my pencil could catch it.
Hiya,
Is that you, Mr. Adams?
Morning, guy.
Yes, Mrs.
Morning,
Jeeves.
is it?
You always come in so extremely quiet.
Whatever,
How
and
dare
a
you,
morning
Mr.
it was,
Adams?
too.
So thoughtful of my
I
other
worked pretty late.
tenant.
I didn't want to disturb
Of
anything.
course not. A fine
Had your breakfast
gentleman
yet?
like you.
Well, would $5 do for a while?
It won't do, but I'll take
Lunch
it.
with me. No, I'm not going to eat on
you. Better see that you do.
I don't suppose you'd be interested in another
Wait a
one
minute,
of my
I've got some money of my
sketches.
Oh,
own.
no,
kidding.
my
I
bathroom's
sold a
full of
picture
now. Where would I put
yesterday,
another one? In my
$12.50.
parlor?
What do you know?
Today you're having lunch on me.
It's a great pleasure, Mac. Just come along a minute while I fix up the hack and we'll soon be on our way.
Have a way, Mrs. Cheeks. Play with him
No,
like a
Gus,
cat with
I
a mouse,
can't get
and then
you
you
at all.
pounce. But he is
Why should you
attractive,
care
isn't
if
he?
I eat?
And gentle.
Maybe I don't like to
That's
see
what makes it
people
so
go home.
hard to throw him out.
Let me
He's
put
an
it this way,
ornament
Mac.
to your house, Mrs.
I got a lot of
Cheeks.
respect for a guy that's
Can't
doing what he's
understand
got
a
to
man
do, even
fiddling
if
away
maybe
his
it's
time
just...
just eating
Now,
things.
you want to paint pictures?
Of course, he did shovel some
You're
snow
going right
to pay
ahead
part
doing
of
it, no
last month's
matter.
rent.
I like that, Mac. You know, most of the time, a fella's got the idea that
Women?
there's nothing much to life.
Women in
except
the... Mrs. Bunce,
getting
we
through
agreed
it as
that he's a
easy and as
gentleman. A gentleman
comfortable as he
just
can.
don't paint women in
Making a
the...
quarter here, a dollar
No.
there.
Of course not.
Eating, sleeping, and dying. Then a fella like you comes along who's not thinking too much about them things. It starts you wondering. Wondering if maybe you're not missing something. Hop in. I'd like to recommend my friend Moore and his corned beef and cabbage. It's almost like home. You couldn't pay me to eat anywhere else.
Oh, sorry, Mac. That's all right.
Oh, well. Well, taking to wearing scarves.
That isn't mine. I found it. Belongs to a little girl I met in the park. Somehow the
Pretty
tune
big
the little
scarf for a
girl
little
sang
girl.
stayed
Funny
in my
kid.
mind.
She said her parents
thought
were
of the last
acrobats
thing
at
she'd
Hammerstein's,
said to me.
Victoria.
Yeah,
About
Hammerstein's
waiting
was
for
torn
her to
down
grow
years
up.
ago.
Of course it was.
But people
She
can't
said she
wait
was
for
there
other people to
yesterday.
grow up.
Yeah, that's kids for you.
There was
Always
something
dreaming up
different
something.
about that child.
Well, what do you know?
I wondered if my
Sarah
pencil could
Bernhardt's
catch
coming to
it.
America for a farewell tour.
Sarah Bernhardt, have you gone crazy?
Well, that's what it says here. Sarah Bernhardt, distinguished French tragedienne, arrives next month.
Well, that is what it says.
Hiya, Mac.
Sarah Bernhardt.
Morning,
Say,
guy. Morning,
this paper's dated
Slept it
1910.
all away. It's gone forever, and a
Did you
grand
pick up
morning
an
it
old
was.
paper like that?
The little girl in the
I
park
worked
had
pretty
it.
late
Her
last
scarf
night. I
was
didn't
wrapped
get
up.
to sleep
till dawn.
Had your breakfast yet?
Well,
Read that. Read
no.
that.
About having Hammerstein's
No, I'm
Victoria,
not gonna eat
Eva
on you 'cause you
Tanguay,
have
the
to work too
American
hard for your money.
comedienne, Will
Wait a minute, I've
Rogers,
got some money of
expert
my
lariat
own.
thrower,
No kidding.
the
I sold a
Appletons,
picture
nobody
yesterday,
high wire.
$12.50.
Well, what do you know?
Just what
Hey,
she
you're having
said.
lunch on me.
It's a
She
great
said her
pleasure,
name
Mac.
was
Come
Jenny.
along a minute while I fix up the hack and we'll soon be on our way.
Now that I think of it, she
She
wasn't
I
dressed
can't
the way
get
the kids
you
are.
at all. Why should
You're
you
not
care
trying to
if I
believe
eat?
this kid, are
Well,
you?
maybe I don't like to see people go home.
Of course. Let me put it this way, Mac. As my mother used to say, for a guy if you got too little in your stomach, you got too much in your head. Now, you want to paint pictures.
I see.
You're going right
You
ahead.
think I'm
doing it, no
imagining
matter.
things.
I like that.
No,
Mac.
no, Gus.
You know, most of the time, a fella's
was
got
real
the
enough,
idea
all
that
right.
there's nothing much
I
to
saw
life except
What's more I could draw
through it
for
as
you?
easy and as comfortable as he can.
Hi, Mac. How are
Making a
things?
quarter
My
here,
friend Mac.
dollar there.
Mac here's the owner of the joint.
Eating,
Hello,
sleeping,
Score.
and dying.
Everything all right, sir?
And a fella like you,
Glad to hear you say it.
not
And you,
thinking
Gus?
too much about
Everything all right?
Sure, I guess so. Starts you wondering.
What do you mean, I guess so?
Wondering if
Anything
maybe
wrong?
you're not missing something.
No, I guess not.
You
Is the food all right?
Sure. I'd like to recommend my friend Moore.
And what's
and
great
his
with
corned
you?
beef and cabbage. Well, I kind of hate to say this, Mac. You're not the sort of man I like to
You
hurt.
couldn't pay me to eat
But
anywhere.
if you don't see me around for a while, don't be surprised. I thought I might start eating down at Nick's for a change.
Nick's?
No, taking to wearing scarves.
Nick's?
What's wrong with Nick's?
That isn't mine. I found it.
Nothing in the matter
Belongs
with
to a
Nick's.
little girl I met in the park.
It's a pretty big scarf
You
for
like
a
that
little
type
girl.
of
Funny
place?
kid. She said
So
her
you're going to
parents were
start eating
acrobats at
down at
Hammerstein's
Nick's?
Victoria.
Yeah, Hammerstein's was torn down years ago.
It's a nice day we're having.
She said she was there
It
yesterday.
isn't more.
Yeah, that's kids for you.
So you're going to
Always
start
weaving up
eating
something.
down at Nick's, eh?
Yeah, I thought I might. Sarah Bernhardt's coming to America for a
Aye.
farewell tour.
Sarah
It's all
Bernhardt,
kind
you
of
got
people to make a world.
That's what it says
All
here.
kinds.
Sarah
And some of them
Bernhardt,
hasn't a trace of friendship or
French
loyalty.
Annie arrives next month.
A fella likes a change once in a while.
Well,
A change from what?
It's this
Hey,
room, the joint.
This
It's
paper's
dark
dated
in here.
1910.
Dark.
1910.
Dark.
You pick up an old paper like that.
You ought to brighten it
Girl in
up.
the park
Brighten
had
up
it.
the
Her
joint,
scarf was
Mac.
wrapped in it.
What would you want me to do?
Gus,
Oh, well, I don't know, Mac. I hadn't got that
read
far.
that. Read that ad.
Suppose I could
Hammerstein's
hang a stray
Victoria.
picture here
Eva
and there.
Tangway, the American comedian.
You know,
Will
it's
Rogers,
a crying
Sixford Lariat
shame you
thrower,
couldn't have
the
a
Appleton,
whole
Nobody
scene
Highway.
painted right on the wall.
It's just what
Of course,
she
I
said.
know that can't be done.
She said her name was
Why can't it be
Jenny
done?
Appleton.
Didn't you ever hear tell of
Come to
Muriel?
think of it, you...
Muriel's there.
Pictures painted onto a wall.
Is that right, Mac? Is it possible to paint a picture right on the wall?
Of course it's possible. It's done all the time.
See,
Your mother used to say,
As a matter
you
of
got too
fact, this
little in
wall
your
would
stomach,
lend
you got
itself
too much
to a
in your
mural
head.
very nicely.
Well, look, what are we thinking
I
of?
see.
Here we got one of the
You
grandest
think I'm
artists in the
imagining
whole world
things.
sitting right at the table.
No, Gus.
And why don't we ask
She
him
was
to do
real enough,
something?
all right.
You could squeeze it in, Mac.
I saw her.
You could squeeze it in
What's more,
between
I
all
could
your
draw
other commissions.
Hi, Mac.
Well,
how are things? Meet my friend Mac.
no.
Back here's
You
the
could
owner.
drop in here now, say around noontime or something.
Everything all right, sir?
It won't cost you a
I'm
cent.
glad to hear you say it. And you, Gus? Everything all right?
Excuse me a minute. Sure, I
I've
guess
got to
so.
post this. What do you mean, I guess? Anything wrong?
No, it's just not. Had
Is
him
the
and I
food
lost
all right?
him. Sure.
Don't say any more about it.
And what's great with you?
Well, I kind of hate to say this, Mac. You're not the sort of man I like to hurt. But if you don't see me
Up the
around for a
rebels.
while,
Up
be surprised. I thought I might start eating down at Nick's for a change.
Mac,
Nick's?
did you ever see Mick Collins?
Yeah.
I never did.
Nick's?
I often regretted it.
What's wrong
Here's
with
what
Nick's?
you should do, Mac. Right over the bar.
Nick's.
A painting of Michael Collins.
Did you
Big
make that
Collins
take
himself. And he leading his men into battle against the might of England.
Just a minute, Gus.
Why, man
It's a
alive,
nice day
would be
we're
the
having.
greatest thing that ever hit this town.
It isn't.
Moore's
more.
Alhambra would be the rallying place for every Irish patriot to come. Why, man, you wouldn't have standing over the bar. And it wouldn't cost you a cent.
It sounds kind of interesting. Kind of people
Here's
to
how I
make a
see
world.
it. Or should I say, how
And
my
some
friend
of them
Mac
hasn't a trace of friendship
early
or
dawn on a
loyalty.
small hill in Ireland. And there,
A fella likes a change.
there on a carpet of
A change
champagne,
from what?
Under an old elm stands room, the joint, it's dark in here.
gun whipping for
Dark.
And all the Murphys
Dark.
and Flanagans and O'Shea's.
You ought to brighten it up.
Brighten
In
up
a
the
brief
joint,
moment,
man.
Vic himself
What would you
will
want
lead him
me
into
to do?
battle
Oh, well,
and
I
lead
don't
him
know,
to
Mac. I
victory.
hadn't got that far.
Up the rebels!
Suppose I could hang
You've
a
got to
stray
pay
picture
it,
here and
You got to
there.
do it back.
You know,
Up the
it's a
rebels! Up the
crying
rebels!
shame you couldn't have a whole scene painted right on the wall. Of course, I know that can't be done.
Why can't it be done? Didn't you ever hear tell of Muriel?
Sketch of a little girl I
Pictures
saw in the
painted
park.
onto a wall.
Is that right, Mac? Is it possible to paint a picture right on the wall?
You have something
It's
there.
done all the time.
Do you know why I like to see
There's a quality about the girl. As a matter of fact, this wall would lend
Long
itself
ago.
to a mural very nicely.
Well, look, what are we thinking of? Here we got one of the grandest artists in the whole world sitting right at the table. And why don't we ask him to do something? You could squeeze it in, Mac. You could squeeze it in between all your other commissions.
Well, I don't know.
I'll give you $25 here now, say around noontime or supper time. It won't cost you a cent.
Now, Adams, you can stop feeling sorry for yourself.
They've got to
No,
post
things are
this.
looking up. Getting 3 deals a day for painting a mural, and now $25
Had him and I lost
for a
him.
sketch. A sketch. Well, thank you.
Where are you going now?
Nowhere, anywhere. Where I come
Up the
from,
rebels!
nobody knows
Up the
where
rebels.
I'm going. Anything goes.
Mac, did you ever see Mick
What's the
Collins?
song
I
that the
never
girl
did.
sang in
I
the
often
park?
regretted it.
Here's what you should do. Right over the bar.
Don't care if I do.
A painting of Michael Collins. Big Collins himself.
and he leading his men into battle against the might of England. Just a minute, Gus. Why, man alive, would be the greatest thing that ever hit this town. Who's Alhambra would be the rallying place for every Irish patriot to come to. But man, you wouldn't have a standing room at the bar, and it wouldn't cost you a cent. It sounds kind of interesting. Here's how I see it. Or should I say, how my friend Mac here sees it. It's early dawn on a small hill in Ireland.
I worked myself through 3 years of college.
There on a carpet of shamrock, under an old elm stands
I think it's interesting.
I want to ask you
his
advice
gun
about
waiting for
something.
zero. And all the
I don't feel sorry for myself
Flanagan's
for being
O'Shea's
sad.
waiting with
This is
him.
very
In a brief moment, Vic himself will lead him into battle and lead him to victory.
What kind you
Up
think?
the rebel!
Being
Up the
serious.
rebel! You've got to pay it, Mr. Allen. You've got to do it fast.
I know
Up the rebel! Up the rebel! Up the rebel!
I knew I had something. Took a lot of leading to know that. Who do I think I am? Why should I believe that all the powers of these struggling artists?
Sketch of a little girl I saw in the
I'm
park.
one who has something worth saying.
Isn't it, Miss Binney?
Relax, Adam. You have something there. Come and sit down.
Do you know why I like it? There's a quality about the girl that reminds me of
something about
long
your
ago.
appearance.
And there ought to be something timeless
I think
about
you're
it.
like the bow I wanted when I was
Something
young.
eternal. You can see it in all the great poets
When I was
of the
doubting
past.
myself.
They make you feel you could meet those women anywhere and be
Look
inspired
what
by
it's
them.
brought me. Just a
Well,
frustrated
Adam,
old maid lecturing a
How do I
frustrated
think
young
that's
artist.
I give you $25 for it, and I
What shall I
don't
do?
care what you
I think the
say.
sketch shows you
I'm not
what
going
you
to say
can do.
anything.
All you need is a little
Now, Adam, you
inspiration.
should stop
Any
getting sorry for
inspiration. That little
yourself.
girl.
No, things are looking up. Getting 3 meals a day for painting a mural, and now $25. Thank you.
Well, on the
For a
other-
sketch. A sketch. Well,
Thanks, Miss Binney.
thank you.
Where are you going now?
Nowhere, anywhere. Where I come from, nobody knows, and where I'm going, anything goes.
What's that?
What's a song that little girl sang in the park?
We don't know where you're coming. I'm going. Would you like a cup of tea?
Don't care if I do.
Oh. Thank you. See you later, Mr. Matthew.
It's as you say, Miss Binney.
Hello, Mr. Adam.
No, I have a nice getting some little kid today. South Paris. Nice little town. Rivers, lakes, mountains.
It's fun.
My father had the general store
Why
when he
not?
died.
Grown,
My
so
mother
it's
died a
taller.
couple years later.
Well, maybe you didn't see me so good
I
before.
worked myself
No,
through 3 years of
I'm
college.
sure you've grown.
Of
Then
course I have. I'm hurt.
fascinating.
Don't you remember our wish?
I want to ask you advice about something.
Let's
I
skate.
don't feel sorry for myself the way you said. I'm facing a very
Let's go a little
problem.
faster.
It's something that art is facing practical problem.
What kind of thing? Died from I knew they had something.
You look so funny.
Didn't even know that.
I feel so funny.
Who do I think I am? Why should I believe it?
Oh, by the way, I have something here of yours.
Oh, what a pretty scarf.
Where's the parcel on the bench? You said it was yours.
Relax,
Did I?
Adams. Come and
Well,
sit
if I
down.
said so, it must be
Irritates
true.
me. Go on like that.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you keep it
You
for me
know,
until I grow up?
something about your
Then I'll have one
appearance
more
to me.
reason to
I
grow
can't
up
imagine
fast.
what. All right.
I think you're like
I owe
the
you a
bow I
favor
wanted
anyway.
when I was young.
You do? Why?
Did a little sketch of you the other day.
When I
I
was
saw it.
doubting myself.
Oh, I'm glad.
Thought you Madam Porter told me I'd paint portraits.
Look what it's
What do you
brought
think of
me.
that?
Just a frustrated
who
old
would you
maid
paint, Mr.
lecturing a
Adams?
frustrated young artist.
I haven't decided yet.
What shall I do?
Maybe.
I think the sketch shows you what
Will
you
you
can
let
do.
it be me?
All you need is a little inspiration.
Who else?
Any inspiration.
Whee!
That little girl in the park.
I'm going to have my picture painted.
No.
Won't Emily be mad?
Yes, that does it.
Emily.
Emily's my best
thought
friend.
you-
She had
well,
her
on
picture
the
painted by Mr. Cromkiss, and I said you were going to do mine.
How did you know that?
Well, I wished it, and then I closed my eyes and turned around 3 times. But Emily still said you wouldn't pay me, and so I slapped her.
Emily. I thought it was Cecily you always fought with.
Cecily? Oh, you don't mean Cecily Brown, do you? Well, she moved away to Boston 3 years ago. I thought I told you.
No.
That's funny.
Well, doesn't matter. Come on, let's skate.
Hello, Mr. Adams.
Don't know. How would you like some punch? Hello, Jenny.
Oh, how wonderful. Thank you. It's fun.
I can't believe
Oh,
it's
Jenny,
you.
Why not?
Where do you live? I'd like to come see you.
taller.
Well, maybe you didn't see me so good before.
No, I
Yes, you can come and see me. Of course I have.
Why?
I'm hurrying.
Oh, it's just the way
Don't
it
you
is.
remember our wish?
Sure.
Will you start my portrait? Let's skate.
Or whenever your parents.
Let's go a little faster. At Hammerstein. That's why they're so famous. They scare everybody. You look so funny.
I feel so funny, too. You to come and check for me. Oh, by the way, I have something here of yours.
Oh, yes. Oh, but a pretty scar. I can get it
Parcel on
free.
the bench. You said it was yours.
Did you go to the matinee sale? Did I?
I think so.
Well, if I said so, it must be true. Well, let's meet. I'll tell you what. Why don't you keep coming till I grow up? At the bench. Then I'll have one more reason to grow up fast. I'll be there at 2 o'clock.
I owe you a favor anyway.
You do? Why?
I did a little sketch of you the other day and I sold it.
Oh, I'm glad.
Man at
That was
Porter told me I
wonderful.
would paint portraits. What do you think of that?
Well, who would you paint, Mr. Adams?
No, I haven't decided
I
yet.
hate it to stop. Maybe we ever have it again. Will you let it be me? Well, goodbye.
Who else?
Whee! I'm going to have my picture painted. Won't Emily be mad?
Emily.
Emily's my best friend. She had her picture painted by Mr. Fromkes, and I said you were going to do mine.
How did you know that?
Well, I wished it, and then I closed my eyes and turned around 3 times. But Emily still said you wouldn't paint me, and so I slapped her.
Emily? Just watching the little girl. I thought it was Cecily you always fought with.
Cecily? Oh, you don't mean Cecily Brown, do you? Well, she moved away to Boston 3 years ago. I thought I told you.
No, you didn't.
That's funny.
I know now that Spinny didn't see Jenny. Come on, but all I knew then was that she kept a watchful eye on me as though I were a patient that needed
I'll have to be
watching.
going pretty soon.
I was happy when I realized it was Saturday and I could scarcely wait to find out what Jenny was going to present to me as
Oh,
Hammerstein.
how wonderful, thank you.
But at last, there was no sign of Jenny.
Where do you live? I'd like to come and see you.
Forgotten. On impulse, I decided to find out for myself what I could about Jenny's parents.
Why? Well, I had a bet with a friend of mine. I wonder if you can help me. You remember the old Hammerstein Theater?
Do I remember
Whenever
it?
you're...
What? You came to the right party to ask about Hammerstein.
I claimed it used to be right around here somewhere, and my friend thinks it's...
Your friend loses. Hammerstein's used to stand right there where the Rialto is now. Yes, sir?
I just want to ask you one more question. Do you remember the apple?
That's why they're so
The apple?
famous.
They used to have an
Everybody.
act. Trapeze.
Seems to me.
I'd like to see them.
Look, you
Then
go
I
over
could
the
ask that
Rialto and
question.
ask old Pete. He's
You
a
come and
doorman
sit
or something. He used to play Hammerstein.
Why don't you take me down
Pretty good
Hammerstein's
song and
to see
dance man in his
Oh,
day.
yes, do let's
He
go.
might know.
I can get us in free. Could you go to the matinee sale?
I think so.
Appleton.
with me?
Yeah.
let's
There
meet-
were the
let's
4
meet here in the park.
Appletons.
At the bench
That
over
was
here, before.
in
I'll be there at 2 o'clock.
1902. They were clowns. They were very good, too, like from Vienna.
This was a high wire act. Husband and wife,
That was wonderful,
1910.
Charles.
Then there was
Thank you.
Mike and Pat Appleton,
Well, I really
Irishes.
must go.
They did some songs and
I hated to
et
stop.
cetera. That
Because
was
when will we ever have it again?
1904 or 1905,
Well, goodbye.
maybe. Yeah.
1910.
Please, let me do it my way. I have to go backwards and then start from the beginning, you see. Otherwise I will not remember, and I don't like not to remember.
Looking for someone,
And
Adam?
then I'll think I'm getting...
Just watching the
little,
girl I was
old,
talking to
you
you
see.
I'm sorry to put you all this trouble.
No trouble at all. I have a very good memory. Only sometimes that I don't remember things very well.
I know now that Spinny didn't see Clara who, but all I knew then was that she kept a watchful eye on me as though I were a patient that
Everybody
needed
went to
watching.
her with his
I was happy when I realized it was Saturday and I could
Rose-colored
scarcely
people,
wait to find
very
out
wise
what
people.
Jenny was going to present to me.
They know what
As
trouble is.
Hammerstein's. You know how I can find her. But at last there was no sign of Jenny. Apparently she had forgotten. On impulse, I decided to find out for myself what I could about Jenny's
332
parents.
East 135.
I had a bet with a friend of
Thank
mine. I
you
wonder if you can
very
help me.
Good memory, no?
You remember the old Hammerstein Theater?
Do I remember it? What?
Thank
You
you
came to
so
the right party to ask about Hammerstein.
I claimed it used to be right around here somewhere, and my friend thinks...
Your friend loses. Hammerstein's used to stand right there where the Rialto is now. Yes, sir?
I just want to ask you one more question. Do you remember the Appleton?
The Appleton?
They used to have an act. Trapeze.
Seems to me.
Ah,
Look,
here it is.
you go over the Rialto and ask old Pete. He's a doorman or something. He used to play Hammerstein's. Pretty good song and dance man in his day. He might know.
Thanks a lot.
Appleton.
This little girl.
Yeah. There were the 4 Appletons.
Daughter.
Yes.
That was in 1902.
Isn't it possible that
They were clowns.
this child is
They
there?
were very good, too, like from Vienna.
This was
No.
High Wire
I knew
Act,
Jenny when this
husband and
picture was
wife,
taken.
1910.
She was a
Then
darling
there
little
was
girl.
Mike
with
and
big
Pat
sad
Appleton,
eyes.
Irishes.
She used to come
They did
backstage
some
and sit on
songs
my lap.
and,
I used to give her
etc.
rock candy.
That was 1904
you know where she is now?
or 1905.
I lost track of her after her parents were killed that night on the trapeze.
1910.
That was many years ago.
Please,
A wire
let me
broke.
do it my
Jenny
way.
was in the theater looking when it happened.
I have to go backwards and then
you sure you
start
don't remember
from
what
the
happened to
beginning. You see,
Well,
otherwise I
it
will
seems
not
as if
remember,
I
and I don't like
remember
not
some
to
talk
remember.
about her aunt's wanting to
Then
put her in a
I think
convent.
I'm getting
Jenny wasn't a
little,
Catholic,
old.
but her
see?
aunt said a convent was the
sorry
best
to put
place
you
for a
all this
girl
trouble.
to be.
No trouble at all. I have a very
Thank you
good
very much,
memory.
Mrs. Morgan.
Only sometimes that I don't
I
remember
appreciate
things
your giving me
very
your
well.
time.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. It
Clara,
isn't often I have a chance to share my memories.
Clara
I do
Morgan.
hope you
She
find
was
Jenny.
Mrs. Wardrop
She
at
was a dear
Hammerstein.
I hope so,
Everybody
too.
went to her
Thank
with
you.
his troubles. Those colored people, very wise
That
people.
night, everything seemed like a dream.
They know what trouble is.
The towers of the city, the myriad lights.
Sure,
But now
know
I
they
knew
could
that
find
Jenny
her.
was not just an
Where she
imaginative child.
Live?
Not just a
Live?
child
Oh,
denying time and reason.
332 East,
Instinctively, I found
135.
myself approaching
Thank
the
you
bench
very
of the park.
Good memory,
Jenny's
no?
bench.
Just one.
And as I did,
Oh, thank you.
I was
Thank you
conscious
so
of an
much.
unaccustomed atmosphere. As though time were
They
melting
were
with the
all
snow.
wonderful acts. For me, they
With
had
the
more
sobs
glamour
that I
than
heard
anything
part
you
of the
see
illusion.
today. You sort of felt as though you knew all the farthest person. Jenny, what's the matter? These are the Appletons. Mary and Frank Appleton.
about?
Father, Mother,
Father, something's happened. They've had an accident.
I knew it would happen.
Why?
I knew it would happen.
This
I
little
was
girl.
so scared it would
That's
happen.
their daughter, Jenny.
And tonight,
Tonight,
Your daughter.
Yes.
Oh, Jenny,
Isn't it possible? I know how you feel. I know how much it hurts. This child is there. Granddaughter.
it isn't hurting them.
No.
Please try to think
I
of it
knew
that
Jenny
way.
when this picture was taken. She was a darling
We all
little
do
girl
sometime.
with big sad eyes.
they love
She used to
You
come
mustn't be
backstage
too
and sit
unhappy.
on
They wouldn't
my
want
lap.
you to be, would they?
I used to give her rock candy.
No.
Do you know where she is now?
No.
They told me
I
once
lost
they-
track of her
they
after
said
her
if
parents
anything
were
happened to
killed
them,
that night on the
I
trapeze.
mustn't be unhappy.
That was many years ago.
Because
The wire
they were
broke.
doing what they wanted
Jenny
to
was
do.
in the theater looking when it happened.
And if they...
Are you sure you don't remember what happened to her?
Well,
What happened to them
it seems
both
as if I
at the same
remember
time?
some talk about her aunts wanting to put her in a convent. Jenny wasn't a Catholic.
Yes.
But her aunt said a convent was the best
shouldn't
place
go.
for
I
a
shouldn't
girl to be.
They wouldn't like it.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Morgan.
They died the way they wanted.
That's right. I appreciate your giving me your time.
I guess
Thank you, Mr.
crying
Adams.
for myself.
It isn't often I have a chance to share
Because they're
my
gone.
memories. I do hope you find Jenny.
No, Jenny.
She was a dear little
But
girl.
maybe I
I
won't
hope
always
so,
be
too.
lonely.
Thank you again.
I don't know why. But I don't think I will be lonely very
That
long.
night, everything seemed like a dream.
Because I'm hurrying
Towers
fast
of the
now.
city, the myriad
My aunt
lights.
is sending me to a
But
convent.
now I knew
and
that Jenny was not just an imaginative child. Want to go? Not just
Of
a
course I
child
do.
denying
after
time
that, I'll be
and
grown
reason.
up, don't you understand?
Instinctively,
No,
I
Jenny,
found myself
I don't
approaching the bench in
understand.
the
I
park.
wish I did, but I don't
Jenny's
understand any
bench.
of it. Each time I see
And
you,
as I did,
you've changed your own.
I was conscious of an
You talk about things
unaccustomed
that happened.
atmosphere,
Well, it happened long ago.
as though time were melting with the snow.
Sometimes I kind of think that, too.
Were the sobs that I heard part
Maybe
of the
that's because
illusion?
I have to find something. I'm not sure.
Jenny, what's the matter?
But I think I'll know someday.
What are you
I
crying
think I'll
about?
know when I find it. Father, Mother.
Father,
Do you know what?
something's happened. They've had an accident.
I knew it would happen.
Why?
I knew it would happen. You'll wait for me. I was
won't
always scared it would
You'll
happen.
give me a little more time.
Tonight.
Oh, Jenny, I know how you feel. I know how much it hurts, but
It's the stars.
it isn't hurting them.
Can't you
Please
hear?
try to think of it that way.
But they're dead.
We all die
Listen
sometime.
to the stars coming
I
out.
love them. They love me.
And you mustn't be too unhappy. They wouldn't want you to be, would they? Would they?
No.
No.
They told me once. They said
What if anything happened to them? I mustn't be unhappy. Because they were doing what they wanted to do. And if anything happened,
Cold months
would
followed
happen
each
to
other
them
that
both
year.
at the same
From the
time.
mystery which surrounded
The way they
Jenny, my
wanted
thoughts
it.
turned themselves away. It was
Yes.
not in my hands. Nothing was in my
So
hands.
I shouldn't cry.
Any more than I could bring the
They
spring
won't like it.
before its time.
They died the
Or
way
keep
they
the
wanted
winter
to.
from clinging to the earth.
So I
Did it?
guess I'm only crying for myself because I'm lonely.
No, Jenny.
But maybe I won't always be lonely.
Skipper!
I don't know why,
Boy, hello, Adams.
but I don't think I will be lonely
He
very
always
long.
runs away when we get near
Because
the park.
I'm
Thank you
hurrying.
very
I'm
much
hurrying
for
fast
catching
now.
I didn't catch him. He
My
just
aunt
ran
is
right up
sending
to
me
me.
to a convent,
Oh, that's a
and
great compliment from Skipper. He doesn't
want to go.
usually take the
of course I
strangers
do.
unless he
After
thinks
that,
they're
I'll be
in
grown
trouble.
up. Don't you understand?
No, Jenny, I don't
What kind of trouble
understand. I
could he
wish
have
I
sent
did, but I
about
don't
me?
understand any of
Suppose
it.
most
Each time I
artists
see
go
you,
through something
you've
of the sort.
changed.
Sooner
You're
or
older.
later, it's not enough
You
for
talk
them
about
just
things
to
that
live
happened
and paint and have
Well,
enough,
it happened long ago.
or nearly enough to eat.
No.
Sometimes I
Sooner or
kind of
later.
think that too.
They want recognition. They want to sell their work.
Maybe that's because I have to
Good
find
men,
something.
even great men, have failed to do that.
I'm
But
not
I-
sure,
I don't think that's all that's
but
bothering
I think I'll know someday.
Mr. Matthews was
I
right.
think I'll know when I find
There
it.
was something else. My memory was
Do you know
beginning
what?
to play tricks on
I
me.
think you'll know too.
I was seized by memories
hope
so
so.
urgent that they were more real
You'll
to
wait
me
for
than
me,
what
won't
was
you?
before me.
You'll give me a little more time.
Everything reminded me of Jenny.
It's the stars. Can't you hear them? Listen to the stars coming out.
Where I come from, nobody knows, and where I'm going, everyone goes. Finally, spring broke through. I tried to work, but mostly I was content to do nothing. I knew in my heart that I would never be anything until and unless Jenny returned. I needed to tell cold months. Who was there to tell the story? From the
Maybe I
mystery
will
which
paint only one
surrounded
important
Jenny,
painting
my
in my
thoughts
life.
turned themselves away.
That much I know I can.
It was not in my hands. Nothing.
What was it, Jenny?
Yes.
It's the
Any
first
more
thing
than
and
I
the
could
only
bring
thing
the
I've ever
spring
been sure of my
before
life.
its time.
You couldn't do it
Or
without
keep
her.
the winter from clinging to the
Suppose
earth.
she doesn't make another appearance.
I can't even think about it.
So much you needed her. It took you a long time to find something to bring your talent to life. You couldn't find it, so...
So you think I created
Hello,
her
Adams.
because I needed her for...
He always runs
Inspiration.
away when we get near the park.
Maybe
Thank
you
you very
really
much
saw
for
her.
catching her.
Maybe you didn't.
Catch him, he just ran right up to me.
As you grow older,
that's a great
you'll learn to
compliment,
believe
Skipper.
in lots of
He
things you
doesn't
can't
usually
see.
take the strangers unless he
To
thinks
get
they're
that
in trouble.
canvas ready for her.
What kind of trouble could he have sensed about me?
I suppose most artists go
Come
through
in.
something of the sort. Sooner or later, it's not enough for them just to live and paint and
It's
have
a grand
enough.
day outside.
Or
New York.
nearly enough.
What you doing in here?
Tearing a canvas for a portrait. Sooner or later,
You don't tell
they
me.
want recognition. They want to
So
sell
that's the
their
way you
work.
do it. That's the way you do it.
Good men, even great men, have failed to do that. But I don't think that's all that's bothering you.
Speaking of paintings,
Mr. Matthews was right. There was
dropped in the
something
moors
else.
yesterday.
My memory was beginning to play tricks on me.
He's upset
I was
because I haven't
seized by
finished the
memories
job.
so urgent that
After all, you made
they
a
were
deal
more
back.
real to me than
I
what
let him
was
down.
before me. Everything reminded
Tell more,
me
I'll
of
be
Jenny.
in soon. I'll finish it somehow.
Sure.
Gus, don't think I'm ungrateful.
Where I come from, nobody
It's all
knows,
right,
and
Mac.
where I'm going, everyone
My
knows.
mother used to say, if there's stardust in your head, sure, there's a jungle
Finally,
in your
spring
soul.
broke through. I tried to work. Mostly, I was content to do nothing. I knew in my heart that I would never be anything until this Jenny returned. I needed to tell someone. Who was there to tell the story? Maybe I will.
You were right, Gus. Look, there
That
is
much I
it's
know
got
I
to do
can
with the
do.
bar. That's what I told you, Mac. It was a grand idea, grand idea.
It's the first thing, only thing I've ever been sure of.
about to take place.
You couldn't do it without her. I suppose she doesn't make another appearance.
So that's the lead us all.
always having children. For a long time trying something to bring the Collins together.
Ireland then be free, says the grandman. Yes, Ireland then be free. Let her go to sleep, then her off for liberty, says the grandman. Then her off for liberty, says the grandman.
Hooray for Eben Adams. Hooray. The cheers were hollow in my ears, for I knew the mural was worthless. I knew in my heart that
That's
I
a grand
was
day
worthless.
outside for New York.
Suddenly I felt
Carrying
free.
a canvas for a portrait.
The world seemed curiously empty.
So that's the way you do it.
That's
the way you do it.
One note would bring it all to life. One note would make an instrument of it. But apparently that note was not to be believed.
Speaking of paintings,
The world of my art was to remain an empty
I dropped into
box.
Moores yesterday.
I know. He's upset because I haven't finished the job. I'll let him down. Jenny! You tell more, I'll be insistent.
Evan!
No, I'll finish it somehow.
It isn't true. It can't be you.
Oh, yes,
Don't
yes,
think
yes,
I'm
it is. See?
It's all right.
I tried to get here
My
sooner.
mother used to say, if there's stardust in your head, sure there's a jump
Grown
over.
so.
Well, of course I have. I'm her. Five in my first year of college at the convent.
Beautiful dress.
Do you like it? It's our Sunday dress. Oh, look, you can see the portrait.
You were right, Coach. Look, there is the statue with the bar. That's what I told you, Mac. It was a grand idea, a grand idea.
Quiet, everybody, quiet. The unveiling's about to take place.
Collins, brave and tall, says the sandman. And will Ireland then be free, says the sandman. Yes, Ireland will be free. Let her go to sea, then her off for liberty.
Sketch of Radio City.
Then her off for liberty.
I've never heard of it.
Hooray for Eben Adams. Hooray. The cheers were hollow in my ears, but I knew the mural was worthless.
It's not a Jenny.
I knew in my heart that I was worthless.
That's Land's End Light.
That's right.
Suddenly I felt free.
Land's End Light.
The world seemed curiously empty and silent. One note would bring it all to life. One note would make an instrument of it.
It's an old deserted lighthouse up on
Apparently
Cape
that
Cod.
note was not to be believed.
I did that sketch several years
The
ago.
world of my art was to remain an empty box.
Makes me unhappy.
Well, in that case, we're just going to
Look, Jenny, the canvas for your portrait. Your Jenny.
When we planned.
Evan! Oh, Evan, how are you doing?
I'm so sure you'd be here one day. I haven't been able to do anything else. Sit over here.
It can't be you.
Oh, yes,
Right
yes,
there
yes,
where I
it is.
dreamed you'd sit.
See, the girls will be so jealous. I tried to get
Bring
here
your
sooner.
way.
Some of my friends are taking the veil next
You're
Sunday.
beautiful.
It'll be lovely to watch. Will you
Grown
come and see?
so.
Well, of course I have. I'm
Please,
her.
hold still, Jenny.
Five in my first year of college at the convent. Will be leaving me too. I hate to have them go. Do you like it?
Jenny, your
it's our
hand.
Sunday dress. Oh, look, you can see the virgin.
There. Hold that.
Eben, promise you won't forget me. Eben, I thought of you so much. You could fill an eternity. About how wonderful it all is. How I've searched. And now we'll be together always. I'm almost sure. Do you know what Emily wants to know? When you're going to marry me. Don't laugh at me, Evan. I know I'm not old enough yet. I will be soon.
Sketch of Radio City.
Radio City? I've never heard of it. Hello, Evan.
Hello, Jenny. I was afraid. Afraid you might not be here.
I told you I'd be here. We'd better hurry if we want to see the ceremony. Strange.
It's not a Jenny.
That's Land's End Light.
That's right. Land's End Light. How do you know I've ever been there? It's an old deserted lighthouse up on Cape Cod. I did that sketch several years ago.
Makes me unhappy.
Well, in that case, we'll just put it aside.
Look, Jenny, the canvas.
Canvas?
The canvas for your portrait. Your portrait. The one we planned.
Oh, Evan, you're going to do it.
I'm so sure you'd be here one day. I haven't been able to do anything else. Sit over here.
See, those with the candles are the ones
Right there where I've dreamed you'd sit.
My girls will be so jealous when I tell them.
Turn your head the other way.
Some of my friends are taking the veil next Sunday. It'll be lovely to watch. Will you come and see it with us?
I'd love to. Please, hold still, Jenny.
A few of my classmates will be leaving then, too. I hate to have them go. And
Jenny, your hand.
It's my favorite. Sister Mary Mercy.
There. Hold that.
So glad you're waiting for me. Promise you won't forget me. Isn't it beautiful? I always feel a little closer to the truth of things in here. As if pretty soon I would understand. Hello, Evan.
Hello, Jenny. I was afraid you might not be here.
I told you I'd be here.
The sun goes
We'd
down
better
in
hurry
the
if we
same
want to
lovely
see
sky, just as it did yesterday and will tomorrow.
When is tomorrow, Jenny?
Does it matter? It's always. This was tomorrow once.
Where I come from, nobody knows, and where I'm going, everything does.
I've heard that somewhere.
Of course you have. You sang it to me that first day in the park.
Did I? I'd forgotten.
The wind blows, the sea flows. God knows.
I think he knows, Evan.
So this is where the master works.
Well, there's much of a place, so it's over here, Spenny.
See, those with the candles are the ones.
Of course, it isn't finished yet.
Don't be
Our
coy.
teachers
Let's
are
see
sad
it.
with them. The first one is old Sister Mary Margaret. She teaches history. And next to her is Sister Mary Euphemia. Teaches science.
What do you think?
Where?
And over there near the entrance is
Where?
my favorite.
Well, Abby, you found what you were looking for.
Like Adams, I've been selling pictures for many years. And in my business, it's always a dream that someday you'll come across, shall we say, a great picture. This is, I feel now, a sort of fulfillment of mine.
You mean he likes it?
Closer to the truth of things in here.
Do you remember my saying there ought to be something eternal, not something not of the present or of the past? Well, here you've got it. It's the face of that same little girl. Yet what you've seen in that face is without age or time.
Well, it isn't finished. It really isn't.
Take it easy, Adam. It's a great picture.
Carried forward on a wave of exultation, I worked eagerly to complete the portrait.
And will tomorrow.
The face framed in its dark hair, the brown eyes tenderly dreaming.
It's always.
I began to realize that I
This
was
was
caught by an
tomorrow once.
enchantment beyond time and chance. Where I come from, nobody knows, and where I knew at last that love is endless, and
I've heard
today's
that
little
somewhere.
happiness
Gosh,
only promised. Sang it to me that first day in the park.
Did I? I'd forgotten.
Wind blows.
I think he knows, Evan. Somehow I knew I'd find you here.
I've looked for you so often.
I had to see it, and you know, I've just graduated from college, and...
Wonderful.
So this is where the master works.
Well, this much of a place, that's no
Well,
place spending.
I'm afraid we'll have to wait a little longer. You see, my aunt is ill, and she wants me to go away with her for the summer.
Of course, it isn't finished yet.
Don't be coy. Let's see
When do
it.
you have to go?
Tomorrow. I couldn't go without saying goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, it'll only be for a few months. Anyway, we have until the morning.
What do you think?
Where?
I think a little more.
Where? Well, Adam, you found what you were looking for.
No, don't say that, Evan. Yeah, both of us be lost. It makes a pathway across the river.
Adams, I've been selling pictures for many years.
The Jersey Hills.
And in my
over there.
business, it's always a dream that someday you'll come across,
You say it
shall we
sadly.
say,
Aren't you happy?
a great picture.
I've been thinking.
This is, I feel,
How
I saw
far away that kind of distance is can be
He
reached.
means he likes it.
They're clad hills.
Do you remember my saying there ought to be something
Among the pines eastward to the sea.
something not of the present nor of
It's
the
the only kind of
past,
distance I
whereas
ever
with
knew
you,
anything about before.
It's the face of that same little girl.
Now I have it.
Yet what you've seen in their faces without age or
Cruel
thrill.
distance.
It's finished. It really isn't.
Take it easy, Adam. It's a great picture.
Carried forward on a wave of exultation, I worked.
At this moment, I know there is.
The face framed in its dark hair, brown eyes tenderly dreaming. I began to realize that I was caught by an enchantment beyond time and change. I knew at last that love is endless, and today's little happiness only part of it.
How still it is. Listen. The city's sleeping.
No one but us.
Somehow I knew I'd find you there. Oh, Evan.
I've looked for you so often.
I couldn't go without saying I know we were meant for each other. Oh, it'll only be the strands of our lives are woven together. Anyway, and neither the world nor time can tear them apart. I think a little more. Oh, Evan, I wish you'd finish my portrait.
Be lost without you.
No, don't say that, Evan. Can't both of us be lost. Evan, look at the moonlight on the water. Do you think people can know what lies makes ahead? A pathway across the river. I mean, what's going to happen? The Jersey Hills are over there, aren't they? You know how you feel sad about things? Say it sadly, Evan. Aren't you happy about the things that have never happened?
No matter how far away that kind of distance is,
Perhaps they're the things that are going to happen to us.
over there beyond the hills, one can drive to.
Perhaps we know it.
North among the pines, eastward to
We're
the
just
sea.
afraid to admit it to ourselves.
It's the only kind of distance I ever knew anything about before.
I guess that's silly.
Now
I guess it's
I feel
just
it's
my
another
funny
kind
mind.
of distance. Cruel a distance. Distance of yesterday and tomorrow, and it frightens me. Jenny, it frightens me that there's no way to bridge it.
There is. At this moment, I know there is.
Jenny. I want it to be
Hello,
forever.
Evan. It will be. Where are we? Have faith.
Poor darling. You must be worn out. I'm sorry.
I fell asleep. How still it is. Listen.
It's finished.
The whole city's sleeping. Evan. No one left in the world but us. Is it really
No one
me?
but us. It's you.
Oh, Evan.
Portrait of Jenny.
I think it's a fine painting. I think it will make you famous. Life's beginning again. Someday it will hang in a museum. And look, the little boat put its lights out all over the world to see
Night's
it.
over, it's tomorrow. Jenny, I'm not going to think of this summer, the future. No, I leave that to you. Why we met, how it came about, I don't know.
I know we were meant for each other. And now the strands of our lives are woven together. And neither the world nor time can tear them apart. Oh, Evan, I wish you'd finish my portrait. Evan. Adams. Evan. I want always just to sit and watch you paint. Do you
Now
think
that I've
people
found the
can
perfect
know
model,
what
I'll
lies
paint her
ahead?
again and again.
No, I I didn't mean that. I want you to paint all the beautiful things in the world. You know how you feel sad about things sometimes? About things that have never happened. These pictures of yours, of the sea, the things that and Land's End Light. Each time I see them, my heart seems to stop.
Curious.
We're just afraid to
Still, I suppose it is a forlorn sort of place.
Well, don't let's talk about it anymore. Tell me about Paris. Just my funny mind. Did you study there?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, Evan, I wish we could be there together. It would be such fun.
We'll do it, Jenny. I'll take you to the Luxembourg, to the fair at Fontainebleau.
Oh, yes, Evan, yes.
We'll go out to the forest of Saint Cloud. In the spring, drinking wine under the trees.
Jenny. Evan, I feel as though we were there already. As though we've been spending our whole lives together.
Poor darling. You must be worn out. What is it? Makes a man and woman know it.
Fell asleep.
If all the other men and women would go out, they belong to each other. And is it just chance they're being alive in the world at the same time? You think it's possible that there might have been others and other times who we might have loved you, might have loved us? Fortunate Jenny.
Oh, no others. Among all the people who lived from world's end to world's end, there's just one you must love. One you must seek and take and make you famous. You, Evan. You, like someday it will hang in a museum. And people will come from all over the world to see it. I must go, Evan.
You still go, Jenny.
I don't want to,
But
but
if you come to see.
we'll meet again when summer ends.
Are you sure, Jenny?
Thank you, Evan. I don't know quite where. And now you must sign it. The wind blows. The sea flows. Oh, Evan, I want to be sure. Tell me you're sure.
I'm sure, Jenny.
I'll get my things. Evan. I want always just to sit and watch you paint.
Oh, Evan, what a lovely scarf.
I'll paint her. Where's Jenny?
I didn't mean that. For me?
I thought
I want you to paint all the beautiful things in the world.
Ever since we first met in the coffee in the world.
But Evan, these pictures of yours, of the sea and Land's End Light, each time I see them, my heart seems to stop.
Curious. Still, I suppose it is a forlorn sort of place.
Oh, well, don't let's talk about it anymore. Tell me about Paris. Did you study there?
Sure. Yes, indeed.
Oh, Evan, I wish we could be there together. It would be such fun.
We'll do it, Jenny. I'll take you to the Luxembourg, to the fair at Fontainebleau.
Oh, yes, Evan, yes.
We'll go out to the forest of Saint Cloud. In the spring, drinking wine under the trees.
Oh, Evan, I feel as though we were there already. As though we've been spending our whole lives together.
In the afternoons, the sun slanted lower over the city. And sometimes at evening, a wedge of wild dove waved southward against the midnight sky. They belong to each other. Summer turned away into fall. And is it just Jenny did not return alive in the world at the same time? I felt a dreadful loneliness. You think it's possible that where was she? There might have been others and other times who we might have loved us.
Oh, no others. Among all the people who lived from world's end to world's end, there's just one you must love. One you must seek until you find him. You, Evan. You, my darling.
I remember my mother and the kiss of no other.
Still no, Jenny.
I don't want to, but we'll meet again when summer ends.
Are you sure, Jenny?
I don't know quite where. The wind blows. The sea flows. Oh, Evan, I want to be sure. Tell me you're sure.
I'm sure, Jenny.
I'll get my things.
Oh, Evan, what a lovely scarf.
Here's Jenny.
You're carrying quite a load,
for
Mac,
me?
over yourself.
I thought you'd like it. I've been saving it for a long time. Ever since we first met in the park.
Now, remember, I'm only supposing, but... I'm supposing she did never come back.
She's got to. Can't be that.
Yeah, but if something happened to her... Jenny, don't you have to go on living, pal? Don't you?
You've never believed the whole thing, have you, Gus, about Jenny?
Well, now, don't be putting words in my mouth.
Doesn't matter.
Ollie.
Doesn't matter whether you believe. It doesn't matter whether anybody believes, because
Sure you do, sure. But weren't you telling me she goes to a convent?
She's not there anymore. She graduated.
Yeah, but the sisters are great ones for keeping in touch.
She liked the sisters. There was one who was a favorite.
Oh, why don't you ask her?
Jenny said she felt close.
In the afternoon, as the sun slanted low
I'll
over
drive
the
you out
city.
first thing in the morning.
And sometimes at evening, a wedge of wild duck waved southward against the Manhattan sky. Summer
used to say,
turned
if
away
you've got
into
friendship
fall,
in your heart, sure you don't.
but Jenny did not return.
What was it my mother used to
I
say?
felt a dreadful loneliness. Where was she? I don't know what I expected to find at the convent. I knew only that it was there that Jenny had found some inner truth. It was there that she had said to me, I think he knows everything. For the first time since I had last seen Jenny, I had a feeling of not being alone. A feeling that the world, Jenny and I were one. What if for a while we had lost our way? Yesterday rose again ahead of us. We had found beauty together, and we could never lose it.
What was it you wished to see me about?
Well, I wanted to ask you about a girl who graduated from here. I thought possibly you might have some information as to where she is.
I might. We often keep in touch with the girls after they leave.
I suppose I ought to be
What was
minding
her
my own
name?
business, but
Jenny
you're
Appleton.
carrying quite a load, Mac, all by yourself.
Jenny
Guess you don't understand it. Yes.
Mac, supposing...
You remember it,
No,
don't
remember,
you?
I'm only supposing, but...
Yes,
Supposing
I
she did
remember
never come
Jenny
back.
very well.
She's got to.
Even though she was not of our faith, Jenny
Can't
was
be
one of my
denied.
favorite
Yeah, but
pupils.
if something happened to her,
A lovely girl.
don't you have to go on living, pal?
With a
Don't
strange
you?
spiritual beauty. And a
You've never
gentle
believed the whole
kind
thing, have you,
sadness
guys?
that
Jenny?
always
Don't be
troubles
putting
me.
words in my
Doesn't
mouth.
matter. I think that describes her perfectly. Doesn't matter any idea where she doesn't matter whether anybody believes
Why, Jenny
because
died
I know.
Sure you do, sure.
years ago.
But weren't you telling me she goes to a convent?
Oh, I'm
She's
afraid
not
I
there anymore.
shocked
She
you.
graduated.
Yeah, but the sisters are great ones for keeping in touch.
We obviously aren't speaking the same persons.
Did you know her
There was one who
family?
was a favorite. No, I just know
Why
that
don't you
killed
ask
in
her?
an accident. Jenny said she
A
felt
while
closer
ago,
to the truth.
they were trapeze performers.
Look, Mac,
Yes.
I'll drive you out first thing in the
I'm
morning.
afraid
If
it
you
must be
promise
the
to get her
same
the next
Jenny
week.
Appleton.
You'll have to let
Her
me know you
aunt brought her to us shortly
Your money
after her
don't
parents'
signify,
death. She stayed
My
with us
mother
until
used to say,
she
if you've got
graduated.
friendship in your heart,
Then
sure
her
you don't.
aunt came and took her up to New England for the
Was it
summer.
my mother used to say?
We corresponded a great deal. Would you care to have me read you one of her letters?
Please. I don't know what I expected to find at the convent. I knew only that it was there that
Won't you
Jenny
sit
had
down?
found some inner truth. It was there that she had said to me, I think he knows everything.
I was so touched by her letters.
For the
that I
first
saved
time since I had last
the
seen
last
Jenny,
one
I had
she
a
ever
feeling
wrote
of
to
not
me.
being alone.
My
A
dear
feeling that
sister
the
Mary of
world,
Mercy,
Jenny and
we
I
are
were
returning
one.
very soon. The
What if
summer
for a
has been
while
a
we
very
had
long and
lost our
lonely
way?
one. How I want to
Yesterday
see you
rose
again, sit
again
and talk
ahead
to
of
you
us.
about all that has been worrying.
We had found beauty together.
I know you tried to teach
we
me
could
how
never lose
beautiful the world is, and how it keeps on being beautiful every day. What was it you wished to
No
see
matter
me about?
what happens to
Well, I
us.
wanted to ask you about a girl who graduated
Sometimes
from
I
here.
have the dreadful feeling that this beauty will
Thought
never
possibly
be
you might have
complete
some
for
information
me.
as to where she is.
That I will never
might.
find someone to love.
We often keep in touch
who
with the
will love
girls
me.
after they leave.
It's a thought
What
that
was her name?
terrifies me, dear
Jenny
sister.
Appleton.
And I need your comfort and your wisdom to help me.
Yes.
Your loving.
You remember it, don't you?
Yes,
That
I
was the
remember
year
Jenny
the terrible
very
tidal
well.
wave hit the New England coast.
Even though she was not of our
October
faith, Jenny
10th.
was one of my favorite pupils. I remember it well.
A lovely girl. I always offer
With a
my communion for
strange
Jenny on that
spiritual
day.
beauty.
And a gentle
I
kind
afterwards
sadness
learned that Jenny was in the
always
habit of
troubled me.
sailing out every day
I think that
alone
describes
to a
it
little
perfectly.
cove near an
Have you
abandoned
any idea
lighthouse.
where she is?
Why,
Lancet
Jenny
Light.
died during one of those trips. The waves struck her. That was the
Years
last
ago.
anyone ever saw of her.
Lancet Light. That's where
Oh, I'm afraid I
Jenny is
shocked
dead. You must accept that fact. Hard as
I
it
won't
may
accept
be.
it. Don't tell me she's
the
dead.
same person.
I
Did
held
you
her
know
in
her
my
family?
arms 3 months ago, not 10 years ago. I love her. I want her back.
A while ago, what vision has been vouchsafed you, I
Yes.
But don't doubt the ways of the same, Jenny. You must have faith. Her aunt brought her to us shortly after her parents died. She stayed with us until she graduated.
Grateful for your kindness.
Then her aunt came.
When did you say that wave struck the coast?
October 5th.
And today is
October 1st.
That leaves me 4
Would
days.
you care to have me read you
Adams, that
October 5th? It was many years ago.
Are you so sure? You say we know so little.
Won't you sit down?
You say Jenny's parents were killed. I found her sobbing on a bench the night it happened. You say she was a student here. I
I was
visited
so
her.
touched by her letters that I
You say she went to New England with her
the
aunt.
last one she ever
I was
wrote.
with her just before she left.
My dear sister Mary.
Then how
Mercy,
can you say it all
we
happened many
return
years
very
ago?
Soon. The summer has been a very long and lonely one.
We know
How
so
I want to
little.
see you again and sit and talk to you about
Yet
all that has
now,
been worrying you.
I know a little more.
I know you tried to teach me
I know
how
now the pattern
beautiful
of
the
Jenny's
world
life.
is, and how
But I
it keeps
also
on being beautiful every
But I
day.
am part of it.
No matter what happens
She herself
to us.
said that strands of our lives were woven together and that neither time nor the world could break them. This I have faith in.
That I will
Thank you,
never
Mother.
find someone
I must
to
hurry.
love
Thank you
who
for your
will love me.
kindness.
It's a thought that terrifies me, dear sister, and I need your comfort and your wisdom to help me. Your loving Jenny. That was the year the terrible tidal wave hit the New England coast. October 5th. I remember it well. I always offer my communion
Keep
for
yourself.
Jenny on that
What's
day.
wrong, Adams?
Going away, Spinny. I don't know
I
for how long.
afterwards learned that Jenny was
Here's
in the
my
habit
portrait
of
of Jenny.
sailing
Will you
out
store
every
it for
day
me until I come
alone
back?
to a little cove near an abandoned
Where are you
lighthouse.
going?
I think I know where she's going to be.
Land's End Light.
I've got to be there waiting
During
for
one
her.
of those trips,
Little place
the
up on Cape
waves
Cod called Land's End.
That was the last anyone ever saw.
Well, Adams.
Land's End. That's where I'll find
got a lot of
But Jenny
commissions
is
for you.
dead.
In that case, perhaps you'll advance me
You
$100.
must accept that fact. Hard as
I
it
won't
may be.
accept it.
$100.
Don't tell me she's dead.
Yes.
I held her in my arms 3 months ago, not 10 years ago.
Never mind
I love her.
that.
I want her
Just pay
back.
What
As
vision
you
has
say,
been
Miss
vouchsafed you, I can't say.
Thank you.
But don't doubt the ways of
Thanks for everything.
Providence.
Right,
You
Miss
must
Blanchard.
have
Goodbye, my
faith.
boy. Have a good rest.
We know so little.
We'll do big things
so
together later.
very little.
I don't mean to be
Take me
abrupt,
out of
and
the
I'm
church
grateful
while
for
you're
your
there.
kindness.
A little white chair.
When did
with a
you
big
say that
steeple.
wave struck the coast?
Don't get yourself drowned
today
in the
is-
sea.
October 1st.
What makes you say that? That leaves me
Oh,
4
men do
days.
such
But
foolish
Mr.
things.
Adams, that
I'm
October
afraid
5th
the
was
ocean.
many years ago.
Are you so sure? You say we know so
Tough
little.
ones drown too, you know.
You say Jenny's parents were killed. I found her sobbing on a bench the night it happened. You say she was a student here. I visited her here. You say she went to New England with her aunt. I was with her just before she left. Then how can you say it all happened many years ago? Yes. We know so little. Yet now, I know a little more. I know now the pattern of Jenny's life. But I
warning
also
of the
know
storm.
that I am part of it.
Hurricane that's coming up.
She herself said that strands of our lives were woven together and that neither time nor the world could break them. This I have faith in.
Right there.
Thank you, Mother.
with the barometer
I must hurry.
Thank you. Sure enough.
Didn't show far enough when we had that hurricane back in the 20s.
Heard about that. Happened just about this time of year, didn't it?
I got it. Come to think of it, it was October 5th. I remember. Because October 4th is my birthday. October 5th. Today.
I'd like to get out of Land's End Light. You know where I'd
Keep
charter a
yourself.
boat.
What's wrong, Adams?
I'm going away,
Land's
Spinny. I
End
don't know
Light.
for how long. Here's my portrait of Jenny. Will you store it for me until I come back?
Of course. Why anybody'd want to go
Where are you
out there?
going?
Never mind where she's going to be. You know someone I've got to be there waiting for.
My pa's
Little
got
place
a
up on
trim
Cape
there,
Cod
Bob.
called Land's End. Would you mind taking me to your pa?
Well, Adams.
Come to think about it, I don't think Maud like it
commissions for you.
In that case, perhaps you'll advance me $100.
We'll tell her he's $100, right?
Where'll I find it?
Oh, it ain't hard to find
Something wrong?
Never mind that. Just pay it, Mr. Matthews.
Well,
As you
I'll
say,
tell
Miss
you
Biddy.
now. You go down to the jetty and ask for
Thanks,
no
Spinny. Thanks for
carton.
everything. Bye, Miss Blanchard.
Goodbye, my boy. Have a good rest. We'll do big things together later.
Mighty nice of you to rent me a boat.
Little white church with a big steeple.
paying me.
Don't get yourself drowned in the sea.
Is how you
What makes you say that?
Tomorrow men do such foolish things. I'm afraid of the ocean.
In a breath of wind
Sea
stirring.
wouldn't get you. There'll be
Tough
wind,
ones
though.
drown too, you know.
Plenty of it.
Maybe. Never been too sure about them things.
Not since that hurricane we had back in the 20s.
What about the wave? I read something about
it. Yeah, there was a wave, all right. Sometimes I think I never seen it. That I just read about it. Like something in the scriptures.
Any warning of the storm yet?
Would come up out of the sea like a mountain. Coming toward the land. Like the day of judgment.
That's what it says.
You didn't happen to know a girl,
right there.
Visitor who was. How far in advance would the barometer show at one word coming? Her name was Jenny Apple.
Far enough.
You know, it's queer you ask me that.
Hurricane back in the 20s.
I used to ride on my boat. I should never forget it the day I die. Did you know her?
Yes, I knew her.
Pretty little thing, wasn't she? It was. Such big, sad eyes she had. Big, sad eyes. There's something about her that seemed to come from far away.
I'd like to get out to Land's
What happened exactly?
You know, we're at the charter boat when the wave struck.
Land's End Point. She reached Land's End Point. That much is certain. But I found the bow of my boat tied to the wall there. Well, anyway, what
Never mind my reasons. You know someone with the boat. If she had made the lighthouse, she might have been saved.
Would you mind taking me to your car?
You know?
But she didn't make it.
I don't think Ma'd like it to rent the boat.
It was pretty tough climb up the rocks. And all that wind.
He rents his boat sometimes.
Well, I find
especially for a female.
Oh, it ain't hard to find him. He's always sitting in the same place.
Where's that?
Well, I'll tell you now. You go down to the jetty and ask for an old codger named.
Mighty nice of you to rent me a boat.
What you pay me? What I don't see is how you figure to get her out tomorrow and all this money. Read the big story.
Won't be wind, all right.
I'm not too sure about that. Not since that hurricane we had back in the 20s.
What about the wind? I read something about the wind.
Sometimes I think I never seen it. I just read about it. Like something in the scriptures. Come up out of the sea like a mountain. Coming toward the land. Like the day of judgment. I was scared of my boat. I should never forget the day I died. Did you know it? Such big, sad eyes she had. Big, sad eyes. Something about her seemed to come from far away. She was Land's End Point. That much is certain. I found the bow of my boat tied to the wall.
If she had made the lighthouse, she might have been saved. Think so?
But she didn't make it.
No.
It was pretty tough climb up them rocks.
The mountain.
And all that wind.
Breaking pieces.
It's a female.
I suppose so.
Water was not in the wind. patient. The Lord was not in the wind.
Again and soon. We can have a whole lifetime
we
together.
We have all eternity together, Evan. Can't you see? We were lonely, unloved. Time made it end. But you waited. And so we found our love.
Now we must lose it?
No, Evan, now we're just beginning. There is no life, my darling, until you leave. Then there is no death.
Reach the lighthouse fast.
But you're fighting nothing, Evan.
Nothing in life, nothing at all without you.
You must live on, Evan, but with faith.
Here it comes!
Goodbye, my darling. It's been so long. Let me look at you.
The wave's coming.
It's all right.
Whatever happens to you, I want you to not just dream something.
Evan.
Please believe me. The wave will strike again and soon. We can have a whole lifetime
We have
together.
all eternity together.
No, sir,
Can't you see?
If they find
We
anyone
were
else.
lonely.
There weren't nobody else dirty fool enough to keep a boat out in that road.
And so we found our love.
Now we must lose it.
Now we're just beginning. There
I
is no
don't really know what you're talking about, young fella. But there weren't no other boat at all without
Reach the lighthouse fast.
But you're fighting nothing, Evan. Nothing.
Wait. Leash your soul again.
Jenny.
Please, Evan, go without me.
No. There's nothing in life, nothing at all without you.
You must live on,
Glad
Evan.
you at least believe.
But with faith.
Good, Jenny.
Here it comes!
Goodbye, my darling.
Jenny! Jenny!
found you on the beach. There you
Yes, Benny.
Shave
I saw Jenny again.
Morning, Captain. Morning. Neil, this is Jenny. Well, frankly, I was worried about you. I didn't see how you were doing.
It's all right.
Captain Cobb kindly let me visit you. So
I haven't lost
both
it.
his guests. Oh, Tina.
Everything's all right now.
Let me tell you, young fella, it's a mighty lucky thing you told each when you was able to sail for her. It ain't like you ever meant to find before. No, certainly, Bob.
If I had
There wasn't nobody else darn fool enough to get the boat out in that boat.
her boat. She had a boat.
I don't reckon know what you're talking about, young fella.
Jenny.
But there weren't no other boats at all, but out from any
wonder if
place
she
round
was
these
real.
parts that day.
Oh, she must
And
have
you
been.
can bet your
But what
boots
does it
on
matter?
that.
She was real to him, or she couldn't look so
And
alive.
figure out
How very
why
wise you are.
rented him. You saw Jenny again, didn't you?
Oh, heaven, is it really me? I think someday
Try to
it'll hang in
hold
a
on to it.
museum, and people will come from all over the world
wait.
to see it.
You should saw her, Jenny.
I'm glad you at least believe. About Jenny.
Yes.
You do, don't you?
You believe it, that's all that matters.
Let's go.
His name, he found you on the beach.
Yes, Benny. I saw Jenny again.
Neil, this is Jenny.
It's all right. I haven't lost it. Everything's all right now.
Portrait? Oh, Jenny, isn't she beautiful? I wonder if she was real. Oh, she must have been. But what does it matter? She was real to him, or she couldn't look so alive.
How very wise you are.
Oh, heaven, is it really me? I think someday it will hang in a museum, and people will come from all over the world to see it.